Hello, welcome to day 12 of the Advent calendar for grown-ups. The fourth of Isaiah's statements in Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6 is Prince of Peace. This wonderful term that belongs rightly to Jesus Christ, who comes into our world 2,000 years ago. He comes as the Prince of Peace. Now, peace is a great Christmas word, isn't it? You've probably seen it on Christmas cards. You've maybe seen it even in lights in the town where you live. You've certainly sung about it in the Christmas carols. And it's right there in the story of his birth. He comes not to bring conflict, but to bring peace. He comes to express and teach about peace, but most importantly, he comes to be our peace. Christ is our peace. It's a wonderful hope for our troubled world. Don't know about you, but I love to get away from the rush and busyness of life, to get away from people and to get out into the countryside, into the open air. Where we live in Llanelli, we're rather spoilt for these things. It really is fantastic here. I love walking down the beach, miles and miles and miles of unbroken sand, the sea on one side, the hills on the other side, and the air, the wind in my hair, or whatever's left of it. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience, and it really does bring a sense of peace. But Christ, who is the Prince of Peace, comes to bring a peace that is even deeper and more lasting than that. It goes right to the centre of who we are as human beings. He comes to bring peace between us and God, and to be our peace by dying on the cross, so that we might know the fullness of God's love to us in his forgiveness of our sins. This peace is really transformational. There are moments in this world where people strive for peace, don't they? We have peace campaigners, peace movements. One of the most moving of the expressions of these was probably in the 1914 part of the World War I, where there was the Christmas truce. Do you remember the British soldiers and the German soldiers meeting across no man's land to exchange gifts, to swap prisoners, to play football? I don't know what the score was, but I know if it ended on penalties, who probably would have won that. And they sang carols as well. It was a moment of humanity in an otherwise deeply dehumanizing trauma. But it was short-lived. Alfred Anderson, speaking in 2003 about his experience of serving with the Black Watch in World War I, ended what he had to say with these words: "The silence ended early in the afternoon and the killing started again. It was a short peace in a terrible war." So often peace in this life is short. But Christ has come to give peace of heart and peace of conscience and peace of mind in the renewing of a relationship with God. It's good news, the coming of Christ, you see. He comes not to judge us, but to rescue us, to deliver us, and to offer himself and to be our peace. Do you know the peace of Christ?